Hey, what's going on, you guys? This is Madam 81. I am going to do something a little different today. This video is for Ask April. Um, I was at work last night and it came to my attention that yet another video was done about Goddess, King Goddess. Why, I don't know. I have a feeling that it may be some bone carrying. I have a feeling that it may be just some uh, subtle pettiness. But I am going to review her video, and this is with fair use. And I'm going to critique her video. Um, if you're looking for, a drag, cussing, cursing. Yeah, I mean, I may say bitch every now and then, but it like really dragging. This is not the video for you. I felt it was time for me to address Ask April because it's getting to a point to where as though she tends to be a bit delusional in her thinking. So without further ado, we're going to review this video. And the title of the video is Goddess, I Don't Hate You. Let me just state for the record, and please excuse me, I am washing clothes as I am doing this video, so I do apologize. Um, the title is Goddess, I Don't Hate You, and this is my general review and critique of said material.
I'm speaking on, like I said, I was going through my emails, and of course, you get sent stuff, videos of people are talking about you, that sort of thing, and I appreciate it because I do want to see stuff. I'm in that mood to look at it, you know what I'm saying? I would like to know what's being said about me, just because it's not so much about me caring, but it's just that you get just because of the fake stuff, I mean, and that's something.
Okay, let me just stop right there and proceed to say, um, first and foremost, we are all grown women. We choose our own paths and we make our own decisions. If someone is continuously, do you know how many emails that we get, that I get, that Goddess get, about people talking about Goddess or people saying something about Dree or emails and stuff like that, and you don't respond to them? Um, it would blow your mind. Um, she stated that she got an email. Now, this is where the bone carrying comes in because, um, yes, this is YouTube and people love drama and people love mess. And since you're not thinking in the mind frame that, A, people will send you stuff just to get a rise out of you, um, you're going to fall prey to it every time. But let's continue.
People that I know don't care for me, and I'm going to speak about that in this video. But, then you have some who act like they do, and then you see them other places where I don't get it. Because these chats are public. Now I can see them somewhere like Patreon, or they're texting and having private conversations. But for a person to be fake in just another chat that everybody can see, it's beyond me. That's the craziest thing to me. But
Okay, so you just answered your own question. If you had a question of like people sending you stuff and this, that, and the third, and you talking about people are fake and you see them in other chats, and there's people sending you stuff just to keep the beef going, wouldn't that tell you, a logical mind, wouldn't that tell you to not pay attention to it? And if it did arise to the occasion that it was a problem, you would go and reach out to Goddess C Tarot um, um, excuse me, Goddessy Tarot at gmail.com. I don't know how many times and several times that email has been displayed or said. If it was really an issue and if you really didn't hate her and you wanted some type of resolution, that would be something that a grown woman would do. But let's continue.
Whatever. So I'm just got something to say real quick to Miss Goddess. I think she calls herself King Goddess now. And this is the goddess, not English goddess. That's my boo. But
You see the shade?
you know,
Did you hear the shade?
the no cracks in the barrel group goddess. So it seems that goddess, you got a whole lot. I mean, you still are holding on to something, or you just can't help yourself. You know what I'm saying? I happen to come up in your videos a lot. And
An admission that she watches Goddess videos a lot. I know y'all just heard that. But it's going to be more, it's going to reveal more to you. Just hold on.
And the only thing that I really want to say to you right now is, guys, I don't hate you. I don't really not even dislike you. I don't know you. Okay? I don't know you.
Have you gotten to know her? Have you tried to get to know her? But okay.
I'm not one of the people who had animosity towards you for being associated with Mona or any of that. I treat people as individuals.
That's not true because you've made several videos and you also have another channel. If you're not aware, Ask April has another channel dedicated to the dead lady. Every video, 98, 99% on her other channel is dedicated to the dead lady. And trust and believe when I tell you, Goddess's name comes up. So, moving on.
Ashley D is proof of that because I damn sure knew that she was a moderator for Mona, and she still came to my chats and came in my comment section, and I have treated her no different. You know, you support me, I'm good. You ain't being disrespectful to me, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? It's not about who you're associated with. It's about who you are.
Contradiction. In one video, she stated that she was explaining when it first started with her riff with Goddess. Is she explained that Goddess was a mod for the dead lady, and that how Goddess championed for the dead lady, and it really annoyed April that she was championed for the dead lady, and the dead lady was a whole fraud. So what you just said right there was a contradiction. You can look at her catalog if she still has the videos up. But you can definitely check that out and hear that for yourself.
So I'm not one of those people. Now, the situation that we had where I made my video and the lives and Courtney come call into your channel and all of that stuff. The truth is that I was watching your live. You know, that's when you and your group members were talking about things that you knew about Mona and different experiences and all of that sort of stuff. And I would come to your live. You had 2 days in a row. You were talking about different stuff about Mona. Talking about, you know, the thing with Heidi and Mona's wife, and, you know, Mona's on heroin, and there's a lot of stuff he's talking about. And of course, I speak on these types of situations. So a lot of times, even if it's not a content creator that I'm cordial with, or that I really, you know, support each other or anything like that, I still watch some of the videos because, you know, depending on what you're talking about, I will watch because I want to know what I'm talking about when I speak on certain things. Or, when I'm speaking on the situations, I speak on, well, this is this video, blah, 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 whatever.
So she just said right there that even if she doesn't care too much for the content creator, she'll still go watch them. So that tells you right there, she had already made up in her mind that Goddess was not her cup of tea. Without getting to know her, without reaching out to her, without having correspondence, and she failed to mention in those lives that we did about the dead lady that we also extended olive branches to a number of people. One being April Walker, one being Sweet Ma, one being Lucretia, and a couple of other people that we extended olive branches to, and including ex April. Now, if she was watching, she heard that. But when she tells this story, and she's told this story several times, she tends to leave that out, and I don't know why she does. We extended olive branches to everyone, and everyone that was in the chat seen that. We did extend olive branches to all of the people that we had riffs with or didn't agree with, regardless if they were our cup of tea or not. But let's continue.
Well, for informational purposes, yes, I was watching your live. It was a long ass live. I was running around that day. I had popped on, seen that you was mine, popped on, was listening for a minute, you know what I'm saying? And there was a caller who called in. Didn't really like what the caller had to say. And when she hung up, one of the ladies on the panel started to speak. Compare her to me, like, y'all say I need a dictionary, I'm dumb, and all of this stuff, or whatever. But, so that was the first incident in this live, and then later on, like, I had been popping off.
Correction, that was not the first incident. That was not the first incident. As I have stated before, earlier, she was already making videos about the dead lady with Goddess's name in it, talking about her mods. I was one of the dead lady's mods. Goddess was one of the dead lady's mods. And there were several other people that were one of her mods that she spoke on. So no, hun, this is not the first incident where this, that, and the third. And the caller is a messy, messy boots that be in your live. She talking about Betty White. And the reason why Betty White got the response that Betty White got is because we had a call in. She called in and she was very, and I do mean very, disrespectful to Goddess and to the people that were on the panel. And I was one of the people that were on the panel. She was very disrespectful. It's a way that you say things to people and you can get your point across. And then it's a way that Betty White said something, and it was all negative. Even through the chat, people were dragging her. People were dragging her. We were dragging her. I don't feel no type of way about it. It is what it is. The thing about the dictionary and stuff like that didn't come until later on. So I'm really trying to figure out how you're trying to squeeze two time frames in together. And the thing about the dictionary didn't come to light until another member of the No Crabs in the Barrel, which is Distinctly Dree, made a video on her platform and said something about you needing a dictionary. And a couple of days later, you just so happen to pop up in a library. I can't make this up. Anybody with common sense would go back and look at that and look at the timeline of the videos, and you will see what I'm saying is valid. But continue.
I'm driving around, whatever. I pop back on, and again, I was being compared to, someone else being compared to me again a second time in the same live. That's nothing that anyone came and told me. So it wasn't with me and Ron.
Okay, so this is what happened in that live. Again, we extended the olive branch to people. And again, we got word back that you said that you didn't want to come over because you felt like we were going to gang up on you, seeing as though that you saw the live where we dragged the fuck out of Betty White. Okay? So let's be honest when we say you didn't want to come over. In my opinion, that was kind of punkish. Like I said, it's other ways to access her. You could have hit her on Instagram. You could have hit her on Twitter. You could have hit her on Gmail, Facebook, so on and so forth. If it was really an issue, but no, you wanted content, hun. You wanted content, and that's exactly what you did. You made content off of that instead of doing the grown-up thing and reaching out to God as independent as an individual individually and speaking with her. Again, that's what grown folks do. But go on.
I didn't hear it, Ron, and think that you were talking about me and you were really trying to make peace with April Walker. It was none of that. It was none of that. And it's a shame that,
That's not true.
and then,
Because April Walker called in. April Walker, they went and got
what?
They went and got April Walker. We were talking about April Walker. April didn't come up into the live until way later on into the live. We were, like I said, we were sending olive branches to everyone, including Ask April. April Walker saw the live, or someone that's a viewer of April Walker went, told April, even Erica Keys came over, her niece. So come on, Ask April, come on. Both of them came over. We hashed it out. We talked as grown women, and we squashed it. The same thing would have happened if you would have came over. Yeah. At the time when I was a mod for the dead lady, I had an issue with April Walker. I make no bones about that or nothing. I have a whole series of fucking videos where I'm going at April Walker. But she did the mature thing and she did the grown woman thing. She never responded to me. And I would be less than a woman to acknowledge that in that situation she was being a mature woman about hers. I don't have no bones about that. I can admit that as a woman. As a woman, I can admit that. She never responded to me. She only responded to Goddess and the dead lady. Period. But go on.
That's why I love when people do send me clips because it's like, when you can come back later and the story has changed and all that stuff. Like, this is what you said. But that's what happened. And I had been blocked from your channel from when Mona was your moderator. And so, no, I did not comment when I heard my name. After I heard it the second time, I'm just like, well, y'all said, and, her people, they sure the fuck out what to say about me,
And again, let me point out another fact that you failed to tell in your video. The fact that yes, you were blocked when you were when she was a mod for the dead lady, but in that live, that first live, she unblocked you. She said, and I quote, "Okay, so I'm going to unblock all of these people." She unblocked April Walker. She unblocked you and a couple of other people. So when you tell a story, make sure you put in the details that fit with the story.
And so, yes, I went and I made a video regarding what I heard being talked about on your channel. So,
You've been made a video.
then I just insert myself, which I do speak on situations that don't have anything to do with
You did insert yourself.
That's what a lot of people on here do, so I'm not the only one. So I don't understand why much of a problem with me doing it, but it is what it is. I'm not gonna stop. So,
Because you don't get your facts straight. That's why.
I just don't understand why I'm still coming up. When I made that video, I said what I said and I left it alone.
No, you didn't.
After
Lies.
coming to your life and
Lies.
calling in and all of that stuff, and it's just like, for what? For what? Y'all, I heard what you said about me. Y'all was already expressing what you felt about me.
And you were doing the same.
For what? So it's just funny how these things get said and switched up and lies get told, and when people speak on them, it's talked about that there's a popularity contest, and people make decisions on who they like the best, and that's nothing to do with that. I have supporters.
See, this is where she tends to make it about herself. It's not about you. When Goddess was speaking, I do believe that she used the word people, unless you want to count yourself as multiple people. Um, she made a statement to the effect of people act as if it's a popularity contest. That did not say you. She did not say ask April acts as if it's a popularity contest and who they like the best. Because trust and believe, no matter if you want to believe it or not, some of the people that are be in your live also be in Goddess live. Also is there for the messiness. Also be sending emails and all of that other stuff too. So come on, boo. What is you doing?
Who supported you as well. Um, they were getting accused of being bone carriers. They were getting accused of coming and telling me things that they weren't doing, or weren't saying. All of that stuff, and getting blocked, getting called out, and all of that stuff. My chat being watched, 20 people out there spending my chat, all of that kind of stuff. I'm constantly being brought up.
You are not constantly being brought up, honey. Like you think too highly of yourself. You, you're just thinking too highly of yourself. The mere fact that you would even assume that anybody would take longer than just one live to think about you, in a day, a person that we don't even know nor have a relationship with, is just laughable. And as to the fact of people being bone carriers, hun, we have screenshots. We have screenshots of that. If you would like to see them, of people going over into your chat and bone carrying. Just like the person went over in your chat talking about, oh, they talking about they gonna catch flights to fight, and your response was, how they gonna catch flights to fight, and they can't even do something that you said. So, hun, where's the lie?
And once you become a content creator, as you expect, you may just become content. And that
True.
I don't have a problem with that. It's a lie.
What lies? Okay, so she always says the lies, but she never explained what the lie is. What is the lie? Side note, where's all this smoke for Dazzle? Would that be any reason why you're now just sitting there and telling your life story and everything? Like you did the video after this one about, your upbringing and stuff like that, and when you were pregnant and stuff like that. Are you trying to, dot all your I's and cross all your T's just in case, somebody like Dazzle might want to come out and put you out there. I don't know, maybe. But where's all this smoke for her? Hmm. I digress.
That's all. Because I'm nowhere near perfect. I damn sure
Nobody's perfect.
have
Nobody.
with myself up enough, told enough about myself that there's plenty for you to talk about.
Because you ain't got no concept.
That you really don't have to make up anything. But to try to put it out there that I started something with you people.
You did. And what is this? Hold on. First of all, what is this thing about people? See, this is the problem that I have with X April. She had did a live about racism and colorism or something along that lines or whatever. Honey, what you're doing is perpetuating a stereotype. Oh, woe's me. Oh, they're coming after me. Oh, it's racism. People don't like me. This, that, and the third. Bop, bop, bop. This, that. Listen to me. You will never, ever know what it feels like to be a person of color. I'm not just talking about black people. You will never know what that feels like. You can't pull the race card when it suits you. And that's one of my issues I have with you. You can't do that. Where in your life have you faced discrimination? Have you been able to walk down the street talking loudly and police walk past you or drive past you and stop you in your tracks and ask you for your identification and ask you where you're going and ask you, all the things that they do ask people of color? Have you? Have you ever been oppressed? Have you ever not had an opportunity because of the color of your skin or your origin of where you come from? Have you? I doubt it very seriously. Moving on.
I just heard you basically like, you know,
That's a lie.
I think one of your panel members mentioned about me beforehand in the chat in a negative manner. I chose to speak about that.
Wow.
I'm on your live. I hear multiple times I'm spoken in a negative manner. I choose to speak about that.
Mhm.
So it's nothing about playing the victim, and it's nothing about
Not to mention that a couple of months ago, she made a whole video and she took the thumbnail from Goddess's Parody and she put it as the thumbnail and she put Goddess's real name in the title. That wouldn't have anything to do with it now, would it? I'm just asking. That wouldn't do anything about when Goddess was a mod for the dead lady that you spoke on her several times. But you wasn't really focused on her. Your main goal was the dead lady, which your other channel so boldly proves. At this point, I don't know if you're a fan or a stalker or you're just really desperate for content. But go on.
inserting myself in yourself when somebody comes for me. None of that. There's nothing really that you women can say about that or anything video you might say or anything. Okay?
It's not so much to hurt your feelings. Like anyone else, we have the freedom of speech. Um, and we can say what we want to, when we want to, and how we want to, just like you have that ability to do the same thing. And it's not so much to hurt your feelings. See, you're trying to push this bully angle, and this, that, and the third, while throwing your shade at the same time. But when it's done to you, you want to say that people are bullies, and you want to say that you don't know where this is coming from. All of this is coming out of left field. They just start attacking me. It's not true. It's not true. And to be honest with you, actually the past stuff that you had happen to you with the cop, you not seeing the cop and you having the warrant and you sitting up there yesterday telling your lifetime story for all the live to hear, about your upbringing and pregnancy, and you had to move back there with your grandmother, or whatever the case was, and this, that, and the third. Honey, when you speak about yourself, you read yourself. The stuff that we were saying about you is just extra. It's just a bonus. And to be clear, Goddess hasn't been live in a while. I haven't been live only but like twice. Dree has been live a few times. Denaya has been live a few times. Less than like 3 times. So, when are we talking about you? Oh, if someone's being petty in the chat and we respond to it or we read their comment out, that's not us being, well, that is kind of us being petty because we read the comments. But initially, it is the person that's on the live in the chat that is dragging you. But you don't speak on the number of people that drag you in the chats. But go on. Oh, really? Can someone point out where any of us in Crabs in the Barrel ever said that ask April, well, excuse me, don't ask April was jealous of us? Anybody? If anybody can point that out and show proof, I will send you between $10 to $20 right now via Cash App. If anybody can point that out and show proof, I will send you $10 to $20 right now. Correction. We're not the only one that's ever talked about your Dollar General hauls. I remember King Sean Bradley speaking on Your Dirty House. I remember who was that? The Lotus Flower, D Ramsey, if I'm not mistaken, speaking on Your Dirty House, and your lack of knowledge to change out grease when it's time. So it's not just us as No Crabs in the Barrel as content creators. There has been several content creators that has dragged you for filth. But yet you're more focused on Goddess. Because baby, when I tell you that King Sean Bradley, when he read you, honey, that it was everything that it was like, believe it.
My makeup, I never claimed to be a makeup artist. I started liking it. I may not know what the fuck I'm doing, but I don't try to act like I do. But y'all sure the fuck must think something because you keep bringing it up. Said
blemishes, cracks, uneven application of the actual concealer and foundation and or the only part that I think, in my opinion, that you got right was when you spray on your face. Because it's granted, I'm not that good. I don't claim to be that good or a makeup artist as well. But I know what full coverage means. You know, balance out your seasons. Who has a playlist? Who has a playlist? Now, see, this is the lie. No one has a playlist. No one has said that they had. Oh, wait a minute. Never mind. I take that back. Distinctly Dream has drugged you in what? Maybe 3-4 videos? Just like you drugged daughters. And then you made the mistake of coming for Dree. Yes, and it wasn't so much of a drag because I've always considered Dree's drags to be classy, like Dynasty. But hey, I could be wrong. Okay, so that's where I'm going to stop my video with, and I'm just going to give my basic commentary for the next couple of minutes. Basically, ask April you're a liar. You try to play this role like you're innocent and you talk calmly, and you know just because you talk calmly, that's supposed to be something of noteworthy, but obviously everyone can do it. Um, you sit there and you lied about several things, which if anybody was in the lie, they would know that you're lying. And judging from the comments that we get when people have spoken about you, you're not a very well liked person, especially after that little racism stunt that you pulled. Um, Girl, where have you ever faced racism? I would like to hear that story. Please have a story time. And I bet you, just like everything else you said, it's not valid. Um, you said your name keep coming up because you will do a live and you will be normal. It'll be a normal live, but somewhere for about 5 to 10 minutes, if that, you'll touch and you'll jab and you'll be shady towards Goddess, and you have done it. If you go through her lives, you will see the pattern that I'm talking about. And I believe the only reason that you do watch Goddess is because you really do need something to talk about. Because there's nothing really interesting about you that I can see, and this is just my opinion, for you to talk about. You could talk about current events, you could talk about politics. You wanted to run real hot with that racism thing until people started dragging the fuck out of you about it. You can continue in talking about that. You could talk about social injustice issues, women issues, um, children, um, things of that nature. But no, you like the messiness just as much as your subscribers do. So in closing, I say to you, honey, nobody's worried about you. Nobody hates you. Nobody really cares too much about you. I just felt as though, as a woman, as a grown woman, you could have reached out. It's not like we didn't extend the olive branch to you. And your comment about me being relentless, honey, you never even got a chance to know me. You just knew that I was a mod. for the dead lady. That's it. That's all. And you took that and you ran with it and you said that I was relentless and you blocked me. When, if it was an issue about me, my relentlessness, you could have emailed me. My email is in my channel description. Just like Breeze is, just like Goddesses is, just like Deniers is. All of our emails are in our description. You could have been a woman. See, we did ours publicly. You could have did it privately if you chose to. If that was even an option in your mind to do so. To reach out and speak with us one-on-one. Not necessarily over the phone. It could have been email correspondence. But you chose not to do that because you like your messy boots. And for every time that you bring up one of our names, this is what you will receive. I can go more in depth, but it's really not that important to go in depth about that right now. This is just a critique of your weak video that you did for content. Oh, and by the way, as I'm making this video, you only had 497 views on that. And you made a jab at God saying that she doesn't have content. Well, honey, I can point out 11 videos that have made over 1K. Oh, excuse me, 1,000 views. 11. So it's not because she lacks content. She did a video about Drea, R. Kelly's wife, and it's now sitting at 2.5K. So research, do your facts, and maybe you might get it right one day. With that being said, you guys, I am Madam A1. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please drop down in the comments, like, subscribe, and share. No crabs in the barrel, man. If in fact she wants this quote-unquote little beef she thinks we have with her to stop, she's more than welcome to reach out, because I'm not going to do this publicly anymore. My email is in my channel description. You can always email any one of us and speak with us privately. But if you fail to do so or don't want to do so, that further proves your bias that you had from the beginning when we were mods for the dead lady. Until then, guys, take care.